Welcome Sagittarius to your in-depth monthly horoscope for September 2023 for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to share with you some standout details to look out for. Please stay with me. I will explore in much greater depth all the ins and outs particularly relevant to your sign. This is a month when you can showcase your talents in a serious way. But it may require you to be quite flexible about how you go about doing it, because I feel that you are going to raise your profile. People are going to become much more conscious of what you have to offer, but it may mean trying some novel approaches, revisiting something that's been a bit stuck with a fresh start. And also with your ruler Jupiter going retrograde through to the end of the year from the 4th, that's something I need to really explore with you too. But I should say, Jupiter also makes a very interesting link with Venus, which goes direct on the 4th for the first 3 weeks of this month. Please stay with me for more. I'd just like to share with you a very special opportunity. Year 2023 is speeding by and year 24 racing towards us. If you order your year 2024 personal horoscope forecast now based on your unique birth data, I'll provide for you the rest of year 2023 free of charge, but also my special package of 30% off. You'll get your character analysis report, your life roadmap, which will give you searing insights of the patterns that have played out so far, but also help you to get a much more intimate understanding of how to work with these energies. Please see the link below for more. And also, I'd just like to flag up to you that underneath this video, you can see your year 2024 free zodiac horoscope video forecast. So Sagittarius, as you enter September, Mars, the planet of passion, has parked up in your sector of friendship and sociability. And with Venus going direct on the 4th, the two come together from the 12th through to the end of the month in a really sociable way. So don't be surprised if you're asked to go on some kind of trip or adventure or expedition, perhaps with a group of people. There may even be one friend who takes on even greater relevance to you. So that's really exciting. But also your professional situation is highlighted with the Sun and Mercury being in your 10th house. The 10th house is where we connect with the wider world. It's the sunshine moment of the chart, the most visible point. Whatever talents you've got, they are, I feel, going to draw more attention. But of course Mercury is retrograde, so if something isn't working for you in terms of your work or your goals and ambitions, or you feel very unfulfilled, it's possible that Mercury's retrograde is asking you to think again. But the link with Uranus, the planet of the unexpected, through the first week of this month, also says that something could come up that you're not expecting, but it may present itself at the speed of light, and you may have to make something of a snap decision. But even that won't be the one opportunity you get this month. There's going to be two others. Right at the heart of the month, Mercury goes direct, but there's a new moon, also in that 10th house, also connecting with Uranus. And then because Uranus itself is retreating and Mercury's going forwards, by the end of the month, we have the third link between the sign, the energy in Virgo, and Uranus in your 6th house, of the actual processes, the actual details and obligations and sacrifices that we can make through the 6th house. That energy is linking back to the big picture energy of house 10. So I feel that Uranus can at times be a very frustrating influence, and I think over the last few years your nervous system may have taken a bit of a whack at times. You may have felt edgy, found it hard to unwind, perhaps a lot of cortisol washing around you. But it's also been pushing you to think about trying to find the type of life role that really gives you a passion. You know, it's all very well being very pragmatic, but if we're not engaged, that's not good. And because you're someone who can be very inspirational, just going through the processes, which the sixth house is very much about, is not in itself enough. You do need some excitement as well. Now, of course, we do have on the 4th Venus ending its retrograde. Now, Venus has been in the part of your situation to do a higher truce in relationships. How have you found it? What happened on the 13th of August with the Cazimi? Did some kind of reality really break through in terms of a tie? Did you get a greater understanding of what it really meant? Or has there been some kind of fractured communication, perhaps with someone at a distance or someone who has different philosophies to you? Venus going direct is definitely a good thing. You get an opportunity to the start of October now to widen the breadth of your interactions with others. If you are planning to go on a holiday, a vacation, or some kind of adventure, you're really going to appreciate the whole experience, whether it's culturally, in terms of socially, or relationship wise. That's really exciting. But of course, Jupiter does slam on the brakes on the same day, right through to the end of the year. I think the interesting thing about having Uranus and Jupiter in the same sign of Taurus, they're actually going to be side by side next April, and that will be particularly interesting. But what we've got is Jupiter is asking you to make sure that if you do go for anything ambition wise, you're prepared to do the hard yards in terms of the detail, because sometimes Jupiter can see you larger than life and maybe find the engaging with those details actually a little dull. But what Uranus is doing is saying, look, if you can approach those details in a different kind of way and have the patience to apply yourself, Jupiter retrograde, because Mercury's connecting so well to that visible part of your situation, through Mercury, through the new moon, and through Mercury again at the end of the month, being patient, disciplined, not promising more than you can realistically deliver, but also being open, can definitely see some professional or job opportunities open up for you this month. Also on the 6th, the Sun and Mercury come together, as we see it from planet Earth, in an exact conjunction. So it's an inferior conjunction because Mercury is retrograde, so it's inside the disk of the Sun. Your abilities, your talents, what makes you very, very much a unique person, because you have a huge welter of knowledge that you can bring to situations. Suddenly, someone who's very influential can become so much more aware of those talents and the way you convey the message, Mercury, despite the retrograde. There may also be a situation that has stumbled. For example, you may have applied for a job, didn't get it, or didn't hear back about it, and suddenly someone can be back in touch. Once we get to the 12th through to the 30th, Venus has moved forwards and starts to apply to Mars in your sector of friendship and future interactions. And as I said, that could lead to some really exciting, playful encounters in the last part of this month. But the 15th sees Mercury go direct, and the new moon. So if you really want to set your intentions in terms of what really inspires you, if you want greater recognition, you're demanding to be taken more seriously, you want to develop more gravitas, but you're also prepared to put the hard work in, the 6th house energy where Jupiter, despite its retrograde, and also Mercury are, the next month could see a major breakthrough. So really be mindful of that. Also, the Sun links fabulously well to Pluto in your sector of everyday finance. So your financial situation can also evolve in a way that pleases you. This could see some kind of reward for a lot of slog that's gone on over a long period of time. But I did mention before that Venus and Jupiter are actually at a right angle for the first 3 weeks of this month. Because for you, Venus is in the 9th house and Jupiter's in the 6th, all I would say is your personality power can definitely be boosted by Venus in Leo, but it is back to not getting caught in that trap of being too exuberant. I think this month is really asking you to keep it real, keep grounded, use your personality power in the right way, which is very much about your understanding of the breadth of life, but don't, start to get into a situation where, you want to impress someone and you're trying too hard. That would be a mistake. So by the 25th, we have the autumnal equinox. The sun moves back into Libra, joins up with Mars. This is your sector of friendship, fraternity. You're wanting to find balance and fairness in your life. But the start through the first 2/3 of this month is definitely about ambition, about your desire to be heard, to be seen, to be recognised. Even if it's not through work, you want to be taken more seriously, but you can't demand it. You have to put in the application, and that's the 6th house energy in Taurus. Then with the eclipse, the next 13 weeks can see a more convivial time for you, but just be aware that Mars at the start of the month and the eclipse on the 25th both link with Saturn in a discordant quincunx. Saturn in the 4th house of emotion. So if you've got certain friendships or involvements that are not great for nurturing you, they may be fun, they may be frivolous, they may actually at times be just what you need, but if at other times they leave you feeling cold and empty because someone doesn't pick up on the deeper part of your nature, go careful. Your friendships need to have a real depth, and this is going to be tested on the full moon of the 29th in your sister fire sign of Aries. At this part of the year, you're needing to feel that your time management is working between the different components that are important to you, whether it is your interests, your talents, a close relationship such as a romance, or your group interests. That needs to toggle right. If it's not toggling right, Venus clashing with Uranus on that particular full moon is going to bring a revelation about which is not necessarily going to be easy. So as the month draws to a close and Mercury ends its post-retrograde shadow, that shows to you there are two pretty distinct slices of action going on in your situation. But we haven't spoken about the nodal axis. So that's going across your sector of your highest hopes, the position of the south node, and the part of you that wants to manifest pleasures, the 5th house, but Pluto is there in the 2nd. So what Pluto's saying is listen to your core values around your love life and your friendships, and also your future hopes. You have to be realistic about the money. But that is going to persist right through to the end of October. It's going to be particularly so if you're somebody who is born more at the start of Sagittarius. If you're born at the end of Sagittarius, there's a different kind of energy playing out for you. In some ways, it has some positive strands, but for all archers, I feel that what Pluto's doing in this reprise that it's going through Capricorn once more again is asking you to really get in touch with what your essential attitude is to your self-worth. And if it's not strong enough, if you don't value yourself strong enough, or your focus is too material, just on the money, one of those two polarities needs to shift a little bit to get things working better with the nodal axis, because the nodal axis is going to be really good for you over the next year, no doubt about that at all. So a really exciting month for you, Sagittarius. Some breakthroughs are possible. You will need patience, you will need application. There can definitely be some fun and social moments too, but what you want in your love life or your friendship group is a real sense of sincerity. So there's a real nurturing to the inner part of your being, But if you really do want to seize the moment in terms of your talents and get that breakthrough job or gain a rise or start your own enterprise, you really can be very dynamic this September. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like, share, comment or subscribe.